All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. You ready for some high-speed action tonight? Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to the Tricky Triangle.
This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The high-octane Racing League Buschwackers Xfinity Series hits Pocono Raceway tonight for a 70-lap race. That's right, it's the Tricky Triangle, and it's race number 4 of the season. Man, this track is rough. Who's got what it takes to tame the triangle? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's watch it right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, the Buschwackers Series is in town. It's Pocono, baby. Let's get your angle on. It's the Tricky Triangle. 70-lap race. Let's get this party started. All right, thank you so much for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. I appreciate all of you joining me, whether it be live or on replay. And we've got a good one here for you tonight, man. It's the Tricky Triangle. 2.5 miles worth of triangle, baby. Race number 4 of the season. It's a 70-lap race. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, and this is race number 4. Wow, we're approaching halfway in this season. The Buschwackers in town, and it is going to be wild. About 10 minutes left to go in the practice session. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you are interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. That's right, EliteHostingUSA.com. Well, this is race number 4, as we had mentioned, 70-lap race here tonight. And next week, we could get maybe a little bit of practice for next week's race here at Pocono. We can use Pocono to get a little bit of practice, at least in one of those turns at Indy, right? Or one of those turns at Pocono is good for a practice at Indy. But nonetheless, Indy coming up next week, finish out the first half of the season. Then we got Cali, Nazareth, and Daytona. Memphis is going to be a non-points race since it's the day after Christmas, and then Texas to finish out the season. Man, how about that Frosty 200 coming up just before Christmas? Oh boy, that'll be a good one. Daytona, the Frosty 200 on December the 19th. Got some chatters in here already. Of course, Givaldo getting us started. Claudio Bardelli Jr. getting us started. Good luck to those guys tonight. And Gilmar Peixoto, my brother, in here as well. Good to see Gilmar. Boa noite. So, 3 Brazilians in here, baby. They know what it's all about. About getting some racing in. How about Stanislav Pavlov and Jack Furtado out here running? Stanislav, that's been his first race in him back in a while. Good to see Stanislav here in the 62 South Point sponsored machine. We got some more racing headed your way tomorrow night. We'll be at Nashville Super Speedway, 110 laps there. And a great track, it's a wide track, a lot of grooves. Race number 7 of the season, and this Saturday Night Thunder Next Gen is a lot of fun, man. That's coming up tomorrow at 9 p.m. The Tough Truck Series will be back in action on Wednesday, November the 26th, and it is race 6. They'll be at Homestead, another wide track. This one will be high speed, baby. 100-lap race coming up at Homestead on Wednesday, November the 26th, starting at 8 p.m. Thank you so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Please hit that thumbs up button and smash the subscribe button as well as the bell. You get updates when races are going live. Thanks to all those folks who have subscribed, whether it be recently or you've been here a while or from the beginning. Thank you. I really appreciate your support. And to all the people coming out and watching the race or watching this channel, please subscribe. You get 582 videos. Actually, I have a lot more videos there, but 582 that are up for viewing. That'd take you a little while. Get through all of them. That would be great. If you'd like to support me, you can click on the links in the description of the race and buy me a coffee. That would be awesome. But I appreciate all the people coming out watching the races. I have a lot of fun doing this, and I'd probably be doing it no matter whether anybody came out to watch or not. It's a lot of fun. I like these guys being able to go back later down the road and watch the races. And we have quite a number of years of races here and different forms of racing too up on the YouTube channel. Well, as I mentioned, we're at the Tricky Triangle. Let's take a look at this track. 2.5 miles in length, 4 kilometers, 3 turns. Where's the 4th turn? There ain't one, buddy. Turn 1, 14 degrees of banking. Turn 2, 8 degrees. And turn 3, 6 degrees of banking. Every turn different. Every turn a little bit different apex as well. And this is a crazy, crazy fun track when you get it right. Who's going to get it right tonight here in the Buschwackers Series? About 5 minutes left to go in the practice session. And I don't know, man. Maybe a little bit too early for me to figure out who's going to win this race. I'm not sure. Could be this guy right now, P2 in practice. That is Preston Hassel in the 27 car. You see Chris Hughes out here, maybe a little break time for him. I'm not sure if he's off for the Thanksgiving break now. Definitely off is Friday. Maybe he's got next week off as well. That'd be awesome. I got to work 2 days next week, so we're going to use those days to get a lot of rest. Good to see Chris out running in the 7 car tonight. Gilmar Peixoto in the 71 coming out here tonight too. It's good to see Gilmar back at it here on a Friday night. Racing that PixBet sponsor machine. John Stanley. Stanley Tools. Actually, he's running in the Tim Hortons car, I believe. Tim Hortons on board here with John Stanley. You're taking a look at him now coming off pit lane. John Stanley, one of our great Canadian drivers in the 12. This guy's patient, man. Sometimes a little bit too patient. I think he gets back there sometimes and gets caught up in some of the other drivers' mistakes. And see if he can't get a win tonight, man. Might be a good guy to pick. How about Giulio Caligari in the, that is Dana Grover there in the 89. Not racing from the Trax VR facility tonight, but we want to send a shout out to Trax VR for helping these guys find a place to race. There's Giulio Caligari right there. Getting ready to come down pit lane, it looks like. Down on that back stretch, probably thinking about a pit stop. But they're cutting through. These guys can pit off of turn 3. So, all right, Gordon Carter in the 56, running just behind Givaldo Spindola. And looks like Gordon exited the racing service. There were some changes made. How about Eugene Fedorov? He's on pit lane right now. Dennis Udich in that 47 car. Now 13th in practice. Gets up like at 2 o'clock in the morning, man. Somewhere around there, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, gets up and races with us. How about that? He lives in the great city of Kharkiv. Our prayers go out to all the residents and extended family of the people who live in Kharkiv. Prayers are definitely with you. Tony Furtado, one of those old guard HORL drivers. Cycling, looks like I'm cycling through the field there. There's Tony Furtado in the 9. Valvoline sponsor machine. Like I said, one of those old HORL guys. Don Jacobs, 24, getting the last minute drinky poo. The 24 car, definitely one of those guys that would be a favorite to win this race tonight. Jack Furtado out there getting some practice though in the 94 car. Yeah, we're getting ready to go to the qualification session. Kidding me? I'm excited, man. Let's go. Let's go. Hit that thumbs up button as well. Help me out. Before we go to the qualification session, let's take a look at an important graphic. And that is the standings coming into tonight's race. Ed Palumbo, 121 points, is in the lead. Preston Hassel just behind in that second position at 116. Sean Jacobs there as well. In the third position, Gordon Carter fourth. John Stanley is fifth. You see Givaldo Spindola in the sixth position. Tony Furtado seventh. Eighth is Dana Grover. Eugene Fedorov sits in the ninth position in points. And 10th is Dennis Udich. Jesus Iglesias starts 11th. Stanislav Pavlov 12th. Arthur Vieta 13th. Jack Furtado 14th. Julio Caligari 15th. Craig Marizot 16th. And 17th is Gilmar Peixoto. Well, get ready to go to the qualification session. 2 timed laps. So race 4, and these guys are headed to quals. All right, looks like we are headed that way. It looks like Eugene Fedorov is the first driver out on the track to get that early lap in. Eugene Fedorov in the number 84 Ford. I think Eugene's strategy usually is kind of get back there, just get some groove going on, wait for that late race segment, and then turn up the juice that last segment to the finish line. Eugene Fedorov coming off turn 3 for his first time lap. You see, it takes a little while to get around this place. Fedorov in the Ford. Now, really, you want to kind of. This is such a difficult track with the way that the corners are. Every corner is different. You got to stay laser focused on this as he comes off turn 3. You got to stay laser focused on this track. And when you start racing somebody else, man, that's a big factor. 53.202 for Eugene Fedorov. He is fast. So Eugene Fedorov at the top of the grid right now. Jesus Iglesias in the 22 car, Orange Crush sponsor machine. He's wanting to climb up the grid. Chris Hughes to the top of the grid. Iglesias, let's see what time he lays down here. 53.705, P7 for Chris Hughes. With a fast lap right now in P1, and he is in lap number 2. Let's see if he's in the blue on this first sector. Let's see where sector number 2 is. He could widen that gap over Preston Hassel's now moved up to P2. Sean Jacob 3rd, Fedorov 4th, Estado is 5th. Chris Hughes, second sector right on par. Not any loss in that, well, a little bit, 7/100ths of a second. Down the front stretch, let's see. Chris Hughes, can he widen it out? 9.77, just a little bit off that first lap pace. Take a look at Claudio Bardelli Jr. His outlap, he's a little bit, he wants to kind of play the back end of that qualification session. Wants to see what he's got to shoot for. And that's not a bad strategy. Pressure's on. A lot of those guys in the blue right now are going to be watching this 19. They know he is always a factor. Coming off turn 3 here to start the first time lap. And this is Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the Silver Tom sponsored Ford Mustang. Step on the gas. On board here with Claudio Bardelli Jr. down the backstretch, down the, there is no backstretch here. How about headed into turn 3? There we go, between 2 and 3. Feathering the throttle. This is turn 3 right here. Here we go. Let's see where he's at. Hughes still at the top of the grid. Oh, not anymore! 52.606, Claudio Bardelli Jr. Wow, he says, throw up the Silver Tom Podcast logo, baby. Don't forget to join Claudio there over at Silver Tom Podcast on YouTube. All things music there on his podcast. I believe he does that on Wednesday nights. Check him out. You can always watch the replays as well. I know he would appreciate the support. So right now, the top of the grid. Representing in the Silver Tom Podcast paint scheme as well. So, wow. He is fast. And Palumbo finished up his lap. He is in P4. Let's see where Stanislav Pavlov here in the 62 car lands. He is waiting. Stanislav Pavlov right now in P3. Does he got another lap in him? I'm not sure. He's way up the track here. I don't think so. Let's see. Because he's about a 10th off the pace there in sector number 1. Oh, and into the outside wall. Might as well scrub that one. Into the outside wall. That hurts. But he's got a good starting position here. P3. So, no harm, no foul there. I know he wanted to get to the top of the grid, but P3 inside row 2 is a good place to start. So that will end the qualification session. There's technically about 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. But thank you so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Really appreciate everybody, whether it be live or on replay, joining in. So let's get this party started. All right, we are back, baby. Qualifications are over. And in case you are just joining us, this is TurnLeftTV, of course. Thank you for joining me here. Good race here for you tonight. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and smash the bell. Make it the trilogy. Thanks to all those folks who are supporting the channel. And the Buschwackers have just finished the qualification session, and we will take a look at the results. Man, this is going to be a good race. We got a good amount of drivers here tonight too. Let's take a look at the qualification results. That's the starting order right there. Claudio Bardelli Jr. starts in P1. P2, Chris Hughes. Stanislav Pavlov third. Ed Palumbo qualifies in at fourth position. Preston Hassel fifth. Sean Jacobs sixth. Julio Caligari seventh. And Eugene Fedorov qualifying in the eighth position. Qualifying in ninth was Tony Furtado. Gordon Carter qualifies 10th. Couple Chevys there. Dennis Huch in that Toyota qualifies 11th. Jesus Iglesias qualifies in the 12th position. Givaldo Spinella 13th. Jack Furtado in the 94 starts 14th. Dana Grover starts in the 15th position. In 16th will be Gilmar Peixoto. And in the 17th position, that's right, John Stanley going to start from the back of the field tonight. Uh-oh. He's got a plan, I think. He might have a plan. We've got about 6.5 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. Well, we haven't really talked about the keys to the race here tonight. We took a look at the track. Keys to the race, I believe, here at Pocono, turn number 2 is a big one. At least for me, man. That's the one that's kind of like the Indy corner, and it is a big one. It's going to, require to really get through the corner with a lot of speed. It's the fastest corner on the track, and that's a big one. Use the draft tonight. You're going to need the draft. You can't. You want to stay hooked up with somebody, if at least a 2-car draft, but likely or ideally you want more cars running together. Be patient here tonight. Save your tires, of course. This thing can be tough on tires with the different corners, and tame all 3 corners. Speaking of corners, it's all about corners tonight here at Pocono. And don't forget, next week we'll be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I should mention Turn 2 here at Pocono is a lot like Indy. It really is. And those tracks now back-to-back this season. Coming up next week, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 70-lap race there. About 5 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. Time to get your picks in. That's right. My pick to win this race. Woo, boy. Who am I picking to win this race? My gosh. A lot of good drivers out here tonight. Well, okay. Getting it in now. Drama. I need the drum roll sound. Drum roll tonight. Is it worth the wait? There it is. TurnLeftTV picks Sean Jacobs to win this race. Well, Sean Jacobs, Pennsylvania native. This would be a big win for him. So that's my pick to win this race, is the 24 Kubota sponsor machine. There he is. Sean Jacobs to win this race. He's like, oh no, that's the kiss of death. Whenever you pick somebody, they lose. Well, who knows? Maybe. Just maybe. I'll try not to throw my hacks on too many people. Was that Baden, UK? Who is that, man? Oh, wait, familiar face there. Wait a minute. I think I know that guy. The headbanger. Fireball flash in here as well. Alvarez, 1973. Hola. ¿Qué pasa? Gordon Carter in the 56 getting the pit stop in. Tell me you got some Black Sabbath playing in the background, Baden. You gotta. It's the weekend, man. It's time to enjoy some Ozzy. Tony Iommi. Been digging them for quite a while now. '62 Stanislav Pavlov getting some laps here. Like missing a hood there. Jack Furtado looking for another hood. Better hurry up, man. Ain't much time left. Look at O. Whoa, Jack. Pit crew gonna have to find another hood here in a couple of minutes. That's all right. It's the magic of the internet. Yeah, I'm doing well. Hope you're well too, man. Really do. Julio Caligari here in the 6th. Got to find a different playlist. I'm going to add some more tunes. I need to set them in order and just go down through the order every time, but I don't do that, man. I just kind of randomly look around on my music. Hopefully you're enjoying it nonetheless. Can't play Sabbath. That'll give me a copyright violation, so I don't want that. How about Givaldo getting some final laps in here side by side? About a minute left. He and Gilmar. Givaldo in the 68 car. Gilmar in that 71 car. Good to see Gilmar back out. He had some computer issues, so he's out for a little bit. Life gets in the way sometimes, but now out here, 17 car field tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow night, the Saturday Night Thunder Next Gen Series will be at Nashville Super Speedway. Man, that's a wide, fun track. High speed. A lot of groups here as well. 110 lap race. That's coming up at 9 p.m. tomorrow. This Saturday Night Thunder, 29 November. This series has been going on since 2001. Wow. When I joined High Octane Racing League, 2001. All right, thank you. All right, I think we're about ready to rock, baby. We are about ready to rock, huh? Warm-up is over. It's time to get it going. Time to get it going. Warm-up over. Picks are in. Fat lady singing.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, singer, songwriter, megastar, and Ford truck man, Toby Keith.
It's time to get in, sit down, shut up, hold on, drivers, start your engine!
All right, baby. Let's go. Claudio Bartelli Jr. starts P1. Chris Hughes starts in the 2nd position. 3rd is Stanislav Pavlov. At Palumbo starts in that 4th position. Starting in 5th is Preston Hassel. Sean Jacobs starts in the 6th position, the 24 car. Julio Caligari starts in P7. 8th is Eugene Fedorov. Tony Furtado 9th. Gordon Carter 10th. Dennis Judichin starts in the 11th position. And Jesus Barbecue Iglesias starts in P12. P13 is Givaldo Spittle into 68. 94, Jack Furtado starts 14th. Dana Grover starts in the 15th position, and Gilmar Peixoto starts in P16. P17 is John Stanley in the Tim Hortons sponsored machine. Had to rush through that, man. I got to slow that down somehow. It automatically changes. My heavens, man. That wore me out. Race keys here tonight. Turn 2. It's all about turn 2, in my opinion. I'm not an expert out here, but I think it's all about turn 2 for me. Use the draft, be patient, save those tires, and tame all 3 corners. So this is going to be a fun one, I think. If these guys are able to be a little patient, don't get too frosty right on the starts. Let this thing sort of shake out. Get those tires warmed up. Get a good groove or good rhythm going around this track, and then you start picking guys off. Somebody wants to run up onto the back of you here tonight early on, let them go. That's my opinion. Lights are out on the pace car. Claudio Bardelli Jr. on the inside will lead the field to take the green flag. Chris Hughes on the outside in the Chevy. Couple cagey veterans right there starting right up front. Here we go. Pace car is off.
Green flag, green flag.
And we're off here at Pocono. Bardelli Jr. got a good jump on that start. Immediately goes to the high side. And these guys going down into turn 1. Bardelli Jr. in the 19, inching ahead, and Chris Hughes dropping back there a little bit. Maybe didn't want to be up there in that aggressive early on, and now drops back to the 4th position. Preston Hassel just behind him. In P5 of the 27. Caligari is in 6th. And Hughes now trying to get things gathered up, trying to tag onto the back of Ed Palumbo, who's gotten through. Right off the bat there, Chris Hughes giving up a few position as Claudio Bardelli Jr. ready for that start and got up and out early. 62, steady spot Pavlov right there. He has been fast. We know he is a stock car aficionado. And he is running on that outside line in the 62 car, trying to make the 19 car take notice. John Jacobs running back in the 8th position. See, everybody sort of being kind right now, man. Just figuring out where you're at. Jacobs now looking on the inside of Jesus Iglesias. He drifts up high. Oh, boy. Almost got into the wall right there. Boy, he gathered it up. And Sean Jacobs going to use that opportunity to get around on the inside. Wow. Iglesias' car drifted up the track. He wants that spot back, but, man, he better be thankful that he didn't get into the outside wall. Holy smokes. And Fedorov almost gets into the wall. And the 9 now climbing up beside him. The 9 of Tony Furtado battling Eugene Fedorov, 4th position. Furtado tucks in. And we got a battle here for the race lead. Take a look as Stanislav Pavlov down to the inside. Just a little bit of a replay. Pavlov showing early on that he is going to be a force to be reckoned with, and he gets around Claudio Bardelli Jr. So Pavlov now our new race leader. Now 2/10 separates P1 from P2. So things, guys starting to figure it out here. Figure out when they need to make some passes. Dana Grover here in the 89 battling John Stanley. A couple of Canadians up here beating each other up. And the 89 car is going to get by. John Stanley now falling back to the 17th position, and Grover now moving up. Tony Furtado and Eugene Fedorov battling. Furtado to the inside. Eugene Fedorov up on the outside line. We saw him drifting way up near the wall, and he may have made contact, not sure, but Furtado's got that inside line. It definitely broke his rhythm, and Furtado's used that chance, so that opportunity to now battle Fedorov through the corner. He looks like he might have what he needs to clear Eugene Fedorov. Fedorov now dropping back to the 10th position. Furtado in P9. Dana Grover now running up on the outside line, getting by Givaldo Spindola. And Grover now getting it gathered back up. He is up to the 14th position. Take a look at Ed Palumbo. Palumbo running in P4 or P3 in the Mellow Yellow sponsor machine. A little work to do to close in on the back of those two that are just ahead. We'll kind of give you an idea of where he's at. Back to those cars, so 54, which we're now looking at. I could show you that data. That was a risky move right there by me, I tell you. You can see the gap there between he and Chris Hughes, about 8/10. So Ed Palumbo, I'd say it's probably around 8/10. They're judging. Looks like it's about 8/10, about 9/10 or so, separating the two P2, P3. John Stanley now closing in on Givaldo. Stanley in the 12 on the inside. Givaldo up on the outside line. Whoa, man, those guys almost got together. John Stanley lucky to not have made contact with the 68 on that transition, trying to get back up the track. A good pass here is Sean Jacobs to the inside of Giulio Caligari. Sean Jacobs now taking over P6. Caligari in that 6 car now falls back to the 7th position. A lot of Chevys there, all clustered together. Gilmar Peixoto in that 71 as John Stanley closing in. John Stanley now getting by Gilmar Peixoto. Gordon Carter battling Eugene Fedorov and Tony Furtado. Good three-way battle here, 56, 84, and the 9. All clustered together. A couple of Chevys there trying to work over that Mustang of Eugene Fedorov. Fedorov says, I'm not going to give up my position to a couple of Mustangs, a couple of Camaros, I mean. There's too many ponies under the hood for that. Gordon Carter closing in, though, and Furtado peaking. This guy Furtado was peaking on the low side. Slightly different lines there coming off the corner for the 56 and the 9. 84 using a little muscle there to get by or to extend that gap there between those guys. He's now closing in on Jesus Iglesias in the 22 Orange Crush sponsor machine. Got a good battle up here. Preston Hassel and Chris Hughes side by side. 54 Ed Palumbo. He's running in the 3rd position. Preston Hassel, Chris Hughes. Here, great battle to the 27 and the 7. Side by side, little Ford versus Chevy. Ford on the outside line running behind Ed Palumbo, and that is 27. Chris Hughes letting him go. Feathering that throttle through the corner. Chris Hughes now back to the 5th position. Eugene Fedorov and Tony Furtado battling. Oh, Furtado way up the track. Furtado was way up the track on that, missed that corner entry, and man, that car drifted up. He was lucky not to get into the wall. Look like, oh, Jesus Iglesias might have made contact with the wall. Tony Furtado and Eugene Fedorov, man, they got after it. Let's take a look at this a moment ago. Oh, it looked like Fedorov might have hit the wall. And then Furtado dives down to the inside. Gets by, but misses this corner as the 84 uses that high entry to get around the 9. So we got some racing going on here. Wow. Yes, sirree. That's why we came. And Jesus Iglesias in the 22. He's made contact with the outside wall right there, the 22 car. Iglesias contact. You take a look at that. Boy, that was, he's lucky he didn't hit any harder than he did. Take a look at this, coming off the corner right here, and he's up into the outside wall. Just a little scrape, little kiss. Oh, Jesus. Getting gutsy early on. 62, Stanislav Pavlov has not been able to run away from the 19 of Claudio Bardelli Jr. Great Camaro versus Mustang battle here for P1, P2. Dana Grover just ahead of Dennis Yurchin. The 89 and the 47 running in P13, P14. I'm here and we got a battle for the race lead. Look at this. Claudio Bardelli Jr. to the inside of the 62. Bardelli Jr. ran closed back in on Pavlov. Now is taking this inside, but can he get the bite that he needs to be able to pull off the pass? Pavlov on the outside line, not going to let him have that easily. Just as soon as I say that, Claudio Bardelli Jr. steps on the gas pedal and shoots around, but maybe Pavlov's giving him a lot of room. I have my wires crossed there, huh? What do I know? That's why I'm in the broadcast booth and not at the driver's seat. Yeah, Palumbo like to see that racing out of the front of his car. He's starting to close in on these boys. That side-by-side racing might have used up a little tire there. On board here with Ed Palumbo. Dana Grover in the 89 battling the 22. The 22 up on the high line, that orange cross-sponsor machine, as Dana Grover going to pick up a spot. He's now up to P12. Jesus Iglesias going to lose another position. So look out of the back of Yurchin's machine, or out of Dana Grover's machine at Dennis Yurchin, who's running in P13, so he's gotten around Jesus. Remember Jesus, we saw him hit the wall earlier, so there's going to be some problems there with that 22. He's going to have to probably make a little bit earlier pit stop to get some things done to that machine. Eugene Fedorov and Gordon Carter. Carter to the outside for Tato in this mix. Giulio Caligari as well. Eugene Fedorov getting around Gordon Carter. Carter had gotten around Furtado as well. Actually, Furtado now trying to repay the favor. Furtado's got to run here on the inside, and he's going to get around 56 car. Inch ahead of Gordon Carter. We got a battle up front here as Preston Hassel and Ed Palumbo both battling the 62. So these guys closing back in, and looks like Pavlov has dropped off the pace there a little bit. I didn't see that pass. Let's take a look. That pass getting pulled off. And the 19 was able to get around the 62. We were watching that a little while. And since then, Stanislav Pavlov has backed up a little bit. And Palumbo's gotten around. And so has Preston Hassel as we take a look at this battle here just a moment ago. Yeah, Palumbo in the Mello Yellow sponsor machine, 27 of Preston Hassel, the Castro Ed sponsored Ford. Chris Hughes now battling Stanislav Pavlov. Pavlov really used up maybe some tires. They're getting to the front, and now Chris Hughes is going to get back by. He's in the third or the fourth position. Chris Hughes in fourth. Stanislav Pavlov falling back to the fifth position. Tony Furtado and Giulio Caligari. Right there is the Fedorov defending that position, and the 9 going to battle the 6 and get through. So Furtado now gaining the spots. Claudio Bardelli Jr. continuing to lead. He has opened up a gap about 2.5 seconds now on Ed Palumbo. Palumbo indicating maybe he's going to be coming down pit lane this time, and he's followed by Preston Hassel. I've not heard anything out of Preston Hassel on the radio about pitting. So the rule in this league is you kind of announce a lap before that you are going to pit. So Palumbo in the mellow yellow sponsor machine has indicated he's going to be coming down pit lane this time. And there we go, peeling off the track. So we have Palumbo coming down pit lane here at Pocono on lap 16. Claudio Bardelli Jr. still out there on the track, man. Not indicating that he's going to be down pit lane. So we have Palumbo the first one on pit lane. As he's diving into his pit box. Be nice if we had an animated pit crews. That would be amazing. As Claudio Bardelli Jr. continuing to lead. Guys are now starting to make pit stops, man, indicating they're coming down. You see Ed Palumbo finishing up his pit stop back out in P17. So he is the first one to come down pit lane. 19 indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane this next time by. And we got a crew on pit lane led by Preston Hassel. Chris Hughes also on pit lane. Pavlov on pit lane as well. So busy pit lane. As you see Sean Jacobs on pit lane as well. Bardelli Jr., I believe, will be coming down pit lane this time. So a whole slew of these guys on pit lane. All at once. I don't like that, man. For me, I do not like coming down pit lane when it's busy like this. Things can happen. Guys coming out of their pit stall just as you finished up yours. Guys or entering their pit stall as you're coming back out of yours. That can cause some havoc. You see Sean Jacobs now coming back out. It's Claudio Bardelli Jr. making a pit stop. So Bardelli Jr., our leader, on pit lane. A little different pit sequence there, maybe saving some fuel. So Bardelli Jr. on board here with him as he's got in that pole position. And there he is, back, coming off pit lane. And Ed Palumbo now crossing the start-finish line, entering turn one. So this will be interesting to see how this shakes out. Palumbo has a head of steam to the outside of Bardelli Jr. A little drag race off of turn one. Bardelli is going to tuck in as Ed Palumbo on and off pit lane, a little better than Bardelli. Ed Palumbo to the race lead. And that is that in-lap, pit road, and out-lap that matter. And just a little bit faster there is Ed Palumbo. Bardelli Jr. now shown in the second position. Third is Preston Hassel. Stanislav Pavlov fourth. Chris Hughes is fifth. Geraldo Spindola on pit lane. So something's going on there with him. Let's take a look here. Sean Jacobs now running in the sixth position, as it looks like Chris Hughes came down pit lane. So Chris Hughes making a pit stop here in that 7 car. Well, Palumbo in the 54 is the leader. About 2/10 back is Claudio Bardelli Jr. Preston Hassel sits third. Pavlov fourth. Eugene Fedorov is fifth. How about that? 3 Fords in the top 5. 2 Chevys. Top Toyota is P10, and that is Dana Grover running in the 10th position. Just behind him is the other Toyota out here tonight. That's Dennis Junichin. So maybe the 89 and the 47 working together as manufacturing team. So a good run here. Still top 10 for Dana Grover. Want to close in on Giulio Caligari, who's running in the 9th position just ahead. Got JB Ransing sponsored Camaro, the number 6 car. Gordon Carter running in P8 in the 56. He and Caligari had a good battle there in that first run. Running in the 10th position. Dennis Junichin, as we mentioned, is running in P11. Even Dana Grover running in 10th. Gordon Carter running in the 8th position. I take that back. Preston Hassel running in P3. He is 5 seconds down to the race leader. Kind of out there by himself right now. Needs a little help as Palumbo and Bardelli Jr. At least they're getting a little bit of draft going on here between the two of them. They're kind of working. But Hassel is, he's staying in that low 5s, somewhere around high 4s gap between he and Bardelli Jr. Another 5 seconds back to Preston Hassel is Stanislav Pavlov running in the 4th position. I guess he is he's 6 seconds back to the race leader. I don't know what I'm talking about. Fire the broadcaster. Pavlov running in the 4th position. Now 6 seconds back. And about 9 seconds back, 9.5 seconds back is Eugene Fedorov rounding out the top 5. Jack Furtado, something's happened to him, man. Wow. Something's happened to Furtado. Jack Furtado, not sure what happened here with Jack. Take a look here. This is coming off turn 1 or entering turn 1. No harm, no foul right there. I don't see anything on. So Jack Furtado, something's happened to Jack. I saw he was missing a hood here, so we'll have to take a look and watch this replay. So Jack Furtado in the 94, trouble for him. We saw he had some damage and he's down. Oh, man, he got down. What in the world happened there? What in the world happened to Jack Furtado? Let's take a look. The 94, he just headed for, I didn't see, like right there, man. He just headed for the grass and then hard contact into the wall. And wow, that'll rattle your cage. And the 94 keeps it pointed in the right direction and no caution flag. Wow. And that was a lick, dude. Holy smokes. That was a lick. And I'm just not sure he has what happened to him, but that was crazy. It just looked like he, I don't know, it didn't really look like he got loose. It just looked like things happened, man. He just kind of went down into the grass and into the inside wall. As we see, Claudio Bardelli Jr. has since regained the lead from Ed Palumbo. And we'll take a look at that pass as Bardelli Jr. going to the outside, and Ed Palumbo giving him a lot of room on the inside. He knows this is a long race. 25 laps in, still not to halfway. And back to the race lead is Bardelli Jr. with Ed Palumbo in tow in the second position. Little gap there forming between the two of those guys, about a second and a half or so. Chris Hughes, after the pit cycle here, has dropped back to the 14th position. He's running in that 7 car. Getting around Jesus Iglesias, now moving up to P13. Jesus falling back to P14. You know, green, clean and green. Almost had a caution flag there just a few moments ago with Jack Furtado getting into the outside wall. But the caution did not wave. He kept it pointed in the right direction. Good to see Thiago Gomez in here chatting it up. Samantha, too. Cheering on Preston. Hammer Racing cheering on Dana Grover as well. Good to see them. All of you in the chat session. As Bardelli Jr. is leading the field. 3-second gap there over P2. Preston Hassel and Stanislav Pavlov pretty tight right now, battling for the third position. 27. A whole lot of that 62 car behind him. Out the back of his machine, you see the 62 there, Stanislav Pavlov running in the 4th position. 62 now, opening up a little bit of a gap. Gordon Carter and Giulio Caligari. Caligari in the 56 to the inside of Gordon Carter. So Caligari and JB Rancing sponsored Chevy Camaro getting around the 56. Also a Chevy Camaro of Gordon Carter. So Caligari now up to P8. Tony Furtado in the 9 car running in the 7th position. Long race to go here. We got a lot of racing ahead of us. See Brother Jack there making some more contact with the wall as Tony coming up. That is ahead of Steve there as Jack missing the hood there. Not able to replace the hood, and Jack has gotten back out into the outside wall there, looks like. That car is all boogered up. He's out here thinking big picture. Get some points in. And out there is Eugene Fedorov and Sean Jacobs battling. 24, Sean Jacobs getting by the 84. As Eugene Fedorov falling back to the 6th position. Sean Jacobs now in P4. P5, I should say. Stanislav Pavlov and Preston Hassel. We saw Preston Hassel open up a little bit of a gap here, but now Stanislav giving it a second try. These guys are side by side tight right there. Preston Hassel going to fight him for it. Oh, Preston making a little contact with the outside wall coming off the corner. But he's got a head of steam, but he made a little contact. A little kiss there, so there might be some white paint on that 27 car. And we'll take a look. Preston Hassel side by side here into the corner, and watch this. This thing gets tight right here. That is close. Preston Hassel, a little bit different entry, and maybe that exit, it was a little dicey right there. Just kissed it. Not too much. Just give it a little smooch. You see him coming off. He's a little bit high on the exits. And it, oh, not too much. Not too bad. I think rattling his cage. That's just scaring him a little bit. On board here with him. Let's test this out. Right here is he's a little bit, he's got a little bit loose there. And then, scrapey poo. Little white paint on that Castrol sponsor machine. As we go back to live. And now we got a battle here between Chris Hughes and John Stanley. John Stanley running in the 13th position. Been a quiet night here for John. He gives up a position to the 7 of Chris Hughes. Chris Hughes now running in P12. Chris Hughes moving up. John Stanley knows, hey, I said, I'm the 12th car. I should be in the 12th position. Come on now. Claudio Bardelli Jr. picking him up and putting him down. A 7.5-second lead on the field. Kind of evaluate as we start to approach halfway. We'll take a look at our race keys at the halfway point just to kind of get us a grade on how we're doing. I think overall pretty good. Depends on who you ask, I'm sure. And I'm starting to hear some rumbling that some guys are going to be making pit stops here. I think maybe Jack Furtado would indicate he's going to be coming down pit lane. Definitely wanting to get some repairs done to that machine. We might have to go a little bit early here depending on what the pit strategy for these guys is. Approaching 35 lap in, and the 19 closing in on Givaldo. Givaldo 2 laps down in the 68 car. And it does look like Ed Palumbo. So some of these top guys up here, they are a pitting. So, wow. Interesting. A little bit different than what I thought. I didn't get from race control what the pit window is. And Ed Palumbo back on pit lane a little bit earlier here. Remember, he and Bardelli Jr. battled for quite a few laps. And now the different pit strategies playing in now. Palumbo now finishing up his pit stop. Back in the 13th position. But remember, Bardelli Jr. has to make a pit stop here pretty soon. Trying to stretch out that fuel mileage, all the drops of fuel that he has. Here on lap 33, still has not indicated that he's coming down pit lane, so he might be trying to stretch another lap. But hey, he gets halfway, then he knows that that second sequence, that second half, he's got maybe a similar strategy here. He's going to be able to inch it in on fuel. So a lot of guys on pit lane. And I'm hearing that the 19 will be coming down pit lane as we approach lap 35. So Bardelli Jr., the race leader, Giulio Caligari finishing up his pit stop. Back out on track. Bardelli Jr. has Tony Furtado on fresh tires just behind him, and he's got to be thinking here, is Furtado, I hope he does not go to the inside because I'm going to be making a pit stop. With Furtado all over the back of the 19 car and looking on the low side, and this could be a big deal. See Jack Furtado on pit lane finishing up. He got a new hood, so he's good to go. I think. Did they put a new hood on that thing? You see Claudio Bardelli Jr. coming down, swooping by, and no, I don't see no hood right there, baby. That ain't good. Bardelli Jr. wants no part of that. He is on pit lane, taking service for tires and fuel for Claudio Bardelli Jr. He's finishing up his pit stop now. Long time on pit lane. Now finishing up, so the 19 back. We went down through the earth right there, didn't we? Back out on track. Man, it's an amateur. I'm an amateur, man. I really am. So he comes back out in the first position, and Ed Palumbo about 4.5 seconds back in P2. That on-off pit lane seems to be working for Claudio Bardelli Jr. as now 4-second gaps separate P1, P2. Bardelli Jr. not playing around in the 19 car. See, there's Ed Palumbo right there. So different ball game for these guys. Different ball game. One pitting a little bit earlier, one pitting a little bit later. See Pavlov going by there. We'll spread out a little bit. We got a couple cars there working together. Kind of get an idea of how fast or how long it takes to get around this joint as these guys get by. There's Chris Hughes, followed by John Stanley. Stanley going by there, running in the 12th position, and there is our race leader, Claudio Bardelli Jr., followed by the 17th place car, Jack Furtado. You see there's Ed Palumbo coming by, Preston Hassel. Stanislav Pavlov, Tony Furtado, P5. Sean Jacobs just behind in 6th. Eugene Fedorov, 7th. There's Jesus Iglesias. And there's Gilmar Peixoto. I haven't talked too much about him. He's running in P15. Dana Grover and Gordon Carter, they're running P8, P9. And Dennis Schuderchin, Julio Caligari, P11, 10 and 11. Chris Hughes in 12. And it looks like Givaldo coming down pit lane right there in the 16th position. So Bardelli Jr., the leader. Almost now a 5-second lead for Bardelli Jr. as Givaldo is on pit lane here. They're 2 laps down. He's running in the 16th position. I don't think quite been the night for that Givaldo wanted. And I said this before, good to see Jomar out racing with us, man. He had some computer issues. He was off for a while, and we're really happy to see the Pixbet car back on the track. So 71, piloted by Gilmar Peixoto. Claudio Bardelli still opening up more of a gap now, as Givaldo now finishing up his pit stop. Been a good race so far. Clean and green. I said we were going to do this at halfway. I missed it a little bit. I think with the pit stops happening the way that they did, I got sidetracked. But take a look at the keys to the race here as we follow Claudio Bardelli Jr. Turn 2, man. I don't know. I think some guys have hit that pretty well, and the guys that have are probably up front right now. Use the draft. I think there's been a fair bit of that as well. Now guys are kind of spread out a little, but there are a couple cars working together using the draft, so they be patient. I think guys have been really patient here tonight. I give them an A on that one. Save your tires. It appears that we got some different tire strategies out here, so probably the grade might vary depending on who you are focused on. And you got to tame all 3 corners, and one guy who has done that so far is this guy right now, the Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 19 Sobertom sponsored Ford. So all in all, these guys are doing a pretty good job with the race keys. And he must be doing really well because he is walking away from the 54. Look at this. We got some battle for position. Julio Caligari in the 6. Dennis Schuderchin in the 47. Battling down the front stretch. And Caligari now cracking back into the top 10 as Schuderchin falling back to the 11th position. Sean Jacobs now closing in on Tony Furtado. A couple of the old HORL guys there. And Jacobs gets around. Eugene Fedorov wants to follow him through as Tony Furtado way up the track. And going to give Fedorov, I think, some room. And Fedorov going to pick up a spot as well. That might have been more of a wave by as Furtado tucking in behind Eugene Fedorov. Dana Grover running in the 8th position. Been a quiet night there for him. He and Gordon Carter have been in each other's zip code for quite a while tonight. A couple Canadian drivers. Gordon Carter running in that 56 car just behind the 89 of Dana Grover Fireball Flash Sponsor machine. If nothing else, even when one's a Toyota and one's a Chevy, that may not be as big of an issue. I think the countrymen, they're going to work together. These guys both hailing from the great country, the great nation of Canada. And a Fireball Flash machine. Uh-oh! Fireball Flash, what you doing? Spilling his drink. And he got into the outside wall, and that rattled his cage. Wow. Gordon Carter able to get around. Wow, that was a hard lick there for Dana Grover up into the outside. Whoa. And a little kiss there for Dana Grover into the outside wall. And that happened in a hurry. Right there, he comes off the corner right here, just misses this corner and grabs the car and slams him up against the wall. Gordon Carter wanted nothing to do with that. Gordon Carter out the front of his car. Whoa! And I'll tell you what, man, that almost knocked Dana Grover's helmet off. He definitely spilled his drink. Wow. That was crazy. Right there, just a hard lick. And Grover on board here with him, and man, putting his helmet back on. Definitely putting his mouthpiece back in. Holy smokes, that was a hard lick. Claudio Bardelli Jr. wants no part of that. Got about almost a 10-second lead over over Ed Palumbo. Ed Palumbo running in the second position. Preston Hassel back in third. Pavlov fourth. Fedorov up to the fifth position. So a little contact there for the Canadian. That rattled his cage for sure. So Dana Grover, a little bit of little damage on that car. No doubt about that. As he's going to try to limp this around here to the next pit stop. Although he has not been able, Gordon Carter has not been able to shake him since getting around. So maybe Gordon Carter's got a little bit of damage too, but that 89 car hit really, really hard. Chris Hughes and Dennis Yudichyn battling. Chris Hughes to the inside. Dennis Yudichyn on the outside. Chris Hughes into the corner, getting around Dennis Yudichyn. Chris Hughes, the 7 car, now up to the 11th position. Yudichyn falling back to P12. 45 laps in. Some racing going on now. As Bardelli Jr. continuing to open up that gap. 10-second gap, almost an 11-second gap there. Pavlov running in the 4th spot. Eugene Fedorov is in 5th. A couple of our great Russian drivers mixing it up tonight. Good to see Pavlov back out and racing with us, man. It's been a while. I know it's got to be crazy early in the morning there for him. But nonetheless, out here and racing with us. Oh, no! Yellow flag. A yellow flag. What? And Tony Furtado off the pace. Tony Furtado, oh no. Our first yellow flag, and he is missing a hood. And Brother Jack says, I know how you feel, brother. And Tony Furtado had some problems, man. Something going on there. We got a caution flag. Holy Toledo. Let's take a look and see what happened. Tony Furtado here in the 9 as the 22 gets up into the outside wall right there. And Furtado can't check up enough and Oh my gosh! Oh, that was a violent crash. Holy smokes, the 22 car gets up into the outside wall right there, comes back across, and Furtado gets into the back of him. Kind of figured that he was going to just draft, and then Furtado hard right here into the outside wall. Oh, man, that was a hard lick right there, 22 into the wall. Furtado, oh, did not get wound up enough, and then hard lick, wow. And Furtado is out of the race as well. It looked like he may have spun around later. Right here. Well, he spun right here. As, man, that was a hard lick. Wow. Furtado, big time problems there for the 9. And he might have lost that engine. He is now out of the race. And it looked like, it really looked like Jesus had gotten into the wall. Oh, hard lick. And it got rear-ended. I don't think it was anything intentional, but we have our first caution flag. Wow, man, that was a wild one. That was a wild one. So looks like Tony Furtado has retired from the race. I believe Tony Furtado has retired. It does look like that car is on pit lane. So tough break there for Tony, and just a lot of damage to that machine. Of course, now they repair it since he's in the infield care center. But what a tough break there for the Valvoline sponsor number 9. He was having a good race, and what a bummer there. So he's out of the race. First caution flag. Here on lap 48 now, as these guys, I think, will probably be coming down pit lane. High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be back in action at Homestead Miami Speedway for a 100-lap race. It's race 6 of the season. Racing starts at 8 o'clock on Wednesday, November the 26th. Some great truck racing headed your way on Wednesday in the High Octane Racing League Tough Truck Series. Well, a lot of guys coming down pit lane, as we thought. Well, Bargelli Jr., the race leader, ducking into his pit stall. On board here with him. '71 coming off pit lane. Rustin Hassel said he missed his pit lane, so he missed his pit stall, so he's going to lose some positions as Jesus Iglesias is our leader. Claudio Bargelli Jr. and Ed Palumbo having a battle here off pit lane. Sorbertom says, I don't want to give up that position. A good battle there with Ed Palumbo and Claudio Bargelli Jr. And Preston Hassel lost some positions on pit lane. So Preston Hassel, tough break there for him. So Preston Hassel's lost some positions on pit lane with a problem. He slid through his pit stall. Let's see if we can't get a look at this. It looks like it happened a little bit earlier. So Preston Hassel coming on to pit lane. He said there's some problem with his brake. So the 27, we're going to watch this pit sequence, and he said he slid through his pit stall. This is what caused him to lose so many positions. He's now back to the 13th spot. He came in P2, and he slid through his pit stall here. Oh, yeah, he missed his pit stall. He has to back up. It'd be great if we had a better camera angle of that. You see him back it up there, that Castrol Edge sponsor machine. Wow. Bad deal for him, and watch this. He's going to lose a ton of positions. All those guys behind him coming out is the Castrol Edge sponsor 27 hanging out on pit lane. Oh boy, his pit crew is working him up one side and down the other. So that could be a big penalty there for the 27. I know it's just a pit road speed violation, but they were all coming on pit lane at the same time, and he's lost a bunch of positions. He's now back to P12. He was in P2 when this started. Can he recover? I mean, there's a lot of laps to go here. I just wonder, man, can he recover from this? So the 19, Claudio Bardelli Jr. in P1. We're going to get a couple wave around cars. We've got the 22. Also, Peixoto, I believe, is a wave around car. As we take a look at Claudio Bardelli Jr. So the 71 going to be a wave around car. 22, a wave around car. And also, I believe the 68 will be a wave around car. Not a bad gamble on their part, I don't think, because we haven't had that many laps. We had the caution flag, so it looks like Jack Furtado is coming down pit lane. Now he is 5 laps down, and look at this, Jesus and Gilmar also coming down pit lane. So 94, Jack Furtado making a pit stop. He misses his pit stop. We need animated pit crews. We add the drama here. Come on, let's do it. We got animated blimps, animated pterodactyls, birds, whatever, airplanes, kites, weather balloons, whatever. We've got animated that. How about some animated pit crews? Let's do it. Somebody's a coder out there that can do that. Add a little drama to it. The 19 takes the inside line here on lap 51, and Palumbo will start in the second position on the outside. Inside row 2 will be Dana Grover. Outside will be Stanislav Pavlov. Eugene Fedorov will start row 3 on the inside. Giulio Caligari starts on the outside row 3. As we're getting ready to go back green. Take a look at that side-by-side there with the 19 and the 54. These guys have been in sort of each other's zip code all night long. And it'll be interesting here now late in the race what sort of switch these guys turn. Are they going to crank it up a little bit, or are they going to dial it back for now? Where are the rest of these guys in that mix as well? As we see Pavlov and Grover there side by side. Grover's done a good job of getting his car up to a P3. So keep him in mind. He's always good late in the race. He's got a very high racing IQ, and as the pace car comes off, I think he's setting his sights on a race victory here tonight. We'll see what the last 19 laps have in store for us. So 19 will lead the field to take this green flag. Back racing here for lap 52. Bardelli on the inside, Palumbo on the outside line, and I would guess he's going to make it a little bit more difficult. He doesn't want to lose the position, and he's going to make it a little bit more difficult for that 19, but he's also got to protect. Now he might be able to tuck in. We've got a battle here for for P3, and that's the 62 and the 89. The 62 got way up to the high side. The 89 tucks into the 4th position. John Stanley's got his car up to P7. Battling the 56. 56 on the inside. John Stanley in the outside line. Stanley now falling back to P8 on board here with him. Some of these guys, I think they feel it is go time. 56 might be one of them. Gordon Carter in that 56 car now closing in on Eugene Fedorov in the 84. The 6 of Giulio Caligari's got something to say about racing here alongside the 89. Caligari now getting by the 89 car. Grover, Fedorov, and Carter now behind. And Caligari starting to move up. Preston Hassel now battling. Oh, Preston Hassel diving in there, battling the 24 car. Oh, whoa, the 94 and the 22 get together. 94 and the 22. Holy smokes, did you see that? On board here with the 54 car. The 27 car, sorry about that. And watch this. Down to the inside, the 94 up on the high side. And he was making some room. Jesus Iglesias making a little bit of room there. And watch this, down to the inside. Goes down to the inside of the 24, diving down to the inside through the corner. And the 94, oh boy, these guys, oh, that 94 right there getting into the 22. That'll make you nervous. That will make you nervous. The 27 had a ringside seat for that too. Watch this. 22 diving down the inside. He gets by the 24 car. Now going into the corner. Pocono with the 94 on the high line. Look at this. 27 trying to get through. Watch this. Going to be a little kiss right here. Smoochy poo. We got a yellow flag. We got a yellow flag now. As Peixoto off the pace. Jacobs off the pace. Jesus off the pace. So something happened here. Let's take a look here as the 27 battling the 22. 22 able to get this spot. And then right here gets into the 27 and comes across. Woo, Nelly. And then a big crash ahead. So looked like the 22. Take a look here. Looked like the 22 tried to do a crossover as the 27 through, but there's contact right there with the 22 as he comes down, gets into the 27 and pushes him up the track, and then the 71 has nowhere to go. And wow. And Jacobs tried to make his way through that. On board here with Sean Jacobs as this is going to unfold in front of him. Right there into the back of the 27. And then down into the 71. And Jacobs caught up in that. Sean Jacobs had nowhere to go on that one. Let's take a look on board here with Jesus. As you see, he's going to try to cut over here, and he just doesn't time it right. And he's going to get into the back of the 27 car, and the 27 goes up the track. Jesus now loses control down into the 71, and then Jacobs hard lick as the 22 retires his machine.
Preston, you didn't accidentally change your bias or anything, did you?
So now we get a little bit of a contact or talk over there. So that was a wild sequence right there. That was a wild, wild sequence. And we're going back here and taking one last look at it. As you're coming down into the corner, and it just looked like right here, as you see the 22 car getting just timing it just a little bit off, that sends the 27 car up the track. 22 trying to hang on to this thing, and then he comes down into the 71 right there, and then Sean Jacobs is going to get caught up in this mess as well, as we see Jacobs getting caught up. We kind of missed it right there, but so a tough little break there for Jacobs as he came around. And he's got some big-time damage now for his car. That car is in bad, bad shape. So tough break there. Just hard racing. Looks like maybe timed it a little bit off. As the 19 did not want to see that caution flag. The 54 also. These guys, front runners, did not want to see the caution flag. So I got 3 cars out of the race. Jesus Iglesias, Givaldo Spindle, and Tony Furtado all out of the race. Forget next week we'll be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's right, my home. About 40 miles away, 45 miles away from the track. 70-lap race in Indy coming up on November the 28th here in the Buschwackers Series. Getting some chatters in here, of course. Good to see. Oh, that's the race key. Sorry, wrong button. Here we go. Thiago Gomez, of course, been in here. Samantha, Hammer Racing, as I mentioned earlier. Guys are on pit lane here on lap 57. This is interesting time. Because now we got some guys maybe gambling a little bit. Jomar Peixoto now shown as the race leader as these guys make pit stops. Nick Bardelli Jr. is first one to lead them down pit lane. As these guys finish up their pit stops. It's like Eugene Fedorov, or excuse me, Dana Grover in the 4th position, coming back out on track. Good pit stop for him, maybe 2-tire stop. Bardelli Jr. leading that crew who have pitted, or have pitted, leading them back out, and looks like everybody might be okay to make it. Assuming we stay caution free. Saturday Night Thunder, the Next Gen Series, will be back in action tomorrow at 9 p.m. Race number 7 of the season. It's 110 laps, and it is Nashville. Little country music action maybe at the Speedway this Saturday night. Can the Kubota sponsored number 24 car claim the victory? How about Givaldo? He might have something to say about it. He'll have to come out and race with us at Nashville. That's November 29th. 9 p.m. qualification, as we see some guys are coming down pit lane. Sean Jacobs, of course, on pit lane. Extended pit stop for him. And the damage that he's got done to that, or he has that on that machine. I want to say thank you for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Please hit that thumbs up button and get that algorithm. We'll beat the algorithms, right? We want to be out there for people to see. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. Always looking for some new subscribers. Thanks to all those folks who have subscribed and join us each and every week as well. And smash the bell. You get updates when the races are going live here at TurnLeftTV. We've got a pretty entertaining race tonight, man. A couple caution flags to keep it interesting. Claudio Bardelli Jr. leading as usual. Well, I think we're going to go green next time by. I believe we will. I could be wrong, but it's sure looking like that. Sean Jacobs has retired his machine. Iglesias out, Spindola out, also Furtado out. Jack Furtado still in, but Tony Furtado out of the race. Palumbo's going to start on the outside line. Looks like the 19 Sobertom sponsored Ford going to start on the inside line. As I think we would expect two of those guys to do. Kind of seeing where Ed Palumbo is at on this outside line on board here with him, and also watching Claudio Bardelli Jr. Going to lead the field to take the green flag. All right, pace car's off. Here we go. Back to green here. Lap 61.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Back to green. Man, fireball flash. Oh, boy, didn't get on the horse there, and looks like Stanislav Pavlov going to the inside. Got a nose under there. He backs off. And Palumbo on the outside. And, oh, contact here. Whoa, Pavlov hanging on to that thing. Those guys bunching up on the inside line. It's go time. I think everybody's turned up the juice here. Bardelli Jr. wants nothing of that. And Caligari now battling on the outside. The 6 car diving down to the inside, now trying to close in on the 54. Julio Caligari, could he be the victor here tonight? Jeff Palumbo now rolling up onto the back of Claudio Bargelli Jr. 54. He wants to see his car in victory lane. Bargelli Jr. diving down to the inside, trying to do a little protect. Not wanting that Palumbo to be able to get that draft. That's a smart move. That Palumbo knows how to counter, though. He's going to watch. Focus on the back of that car. Palumbo wants to win here at Pocono. Palumbo to the outside. Bargelli Jr. diving back down to the inside. Palumbo hanging out there on that outside line. He was wanting to make sure that maybe he gets the front of that car up alongside the right rear quarter of the 19. Don't let him have that space that he needs. Stanislav Pavlov here having a battle with the 89. Side-by-side battle there coming off turn 3. Caligari's in this mix. 62 and the 56 now side-by-side as the 89 clears the 56. On board here with the 62. Feathering the throttle there, getting a run off the corner. 56 trying to close the door. Caligari now trying to close in on these boys up front. Ed Palumbo in the 54. He wants this win. He knows when to go. The Mellow Yellow sponsor machine all over the back. That's Sober Tom Podcast 4. So trying to break the draft. 54 chasing the 19. Got to be careful about that. You hold your position, you hold your line. You can get alongside the guy who's trying to hold you behind you. Preston Hassel and Chris Hughes battling. Chris Hughes in the 7. Trying to hold on to the 9th position. Preston Hassel inches up on the side. Good side-by-side battle here between the 27 and the 7. Preston Hassel inching ahead. Down. Oh, boy, that's tight. 27 now. Trying to hold on and not lose the spots. Stanislav Pavlov and John Stanley battling. Stanley getting around Pavlov. 84 of Eugene Fedorov trying to get around and get a position here late. Here on lap 65. Well, Bargelli Jr. continuing to lead. Now 2/10 separate the two of those guys. I have a feeling it's going to get tight. We could see a caution flag. These guys are turning up the juice a little bit. Caligari, they've been able to run away a little bit from Caligari, and now he's got the 89 and the 56 in his postal code. Caligari now worried about those cars behind him a little. He definitely wants to see these other guys get better. See, this may not help him right here. He dives down to that inside, but those two on the outside are drafting, and they're closing in. See right there, they closed in a hurry, and now Grover down to the inside. Grover in a fireball flash, 89 and a 6 of Julio Caligari getting after it right now. Caligari on the outside, he's got that run. And able to hold on, but now Grover back down to the inside. Where is Gordon Carter going to go? Gordon Carter to the inside. Now playing this outside line right there. Caligari tried to come over just a little bit too early. Scrubbed off some speed, and these guys are racing right now. Grover, it clears them, and now John Stanley trying to get by the 6 car. John Stanley battling the 6. These guys are getting after it. Keep it green, boys, and Caligari losing another position. Wow. Watch this. This got a little testy. 12 car way down to the inside. Caligari crowded him a little bit. And coming off the corner, some great racing. Chris Hughes and Stanislav Pavlov battling. Hughes to the inside of the 62 car. 27 in this mix as well. Wow. Bardelli has been able to open a gap on Ed Palumbo. The racing is in the back here. 3 laps to go. Eugene Fedorov trying to pick up some positions here late in the race. Eugene Fedorov picking up a position, getting around Preston Hassel, but gives up a position to Chris Hughes. Late in the race, a battle between the 54 and the 19. The 19 has been able to open up a lead a little bit over a second now, 1.1. Pushing 1.2. Jack Furtado indicating he's coming down pit lane. He is 14 laps down, so he's going to take himself out, I think. Not going to gain any positions, I don't believe. There's 2 laps to go here for the 19. Late race pass here with Giulio Caligari and Preston Hassel. Hassel getting around on the inside. Caligari now falling back to the 7th position as the 27 now moves up to P6. 19 car. He had to work for it here tonight. It's not over. He had to work for it, but he's got 1 lap to go to put the Pocono in the books. 1.6 second gap over Ed Palumbo. Got a Chevy. He's got a Ford, a Chevy, and a Toyota. 1, 2, 3. Pavlov and Fedorov here battling. Pavlov to the inside, getting around Fedorov late. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 19 car. We had some caution flags to make it a little bit interesting. Great racing there to start off this last run, but the 19 Silverton Podcast Ford, that crew had the right stuff here in the waning moments of this race. And the Samba man, Claudio Bardelli Jr., going to take the victory here at Pocono. So great job to Claudio Bardelli Jr. on getting the win. As the 54 are going to give him a congratulatory sight swipe. So great job to Claudio Bardelli Jr. on the victory. Definitely had what he needed to do. I mean, he had a little bit of luck there, but a whole lot of skill. And he did a great job. So congratulations to Claudio Bardelli Jr. Sorry for the camera work, or the lack thereof. So congratulations to him. Big victory for that crew. What a battle, man. Times in that race, I think we had some super great racing. And Bardelli Jr. able to take the victory. What a big one there, too. 2 caution flags make it interesting. Let's take a look at the final results. Final results here tonight. Claudio Bardelli Jr. gets the victory at Palumbo. Great run there for him in the Chevy, finishes P2. The Toyota, Dana Grover, really had a great race. 89 finishes in 3rd, Fireball Flash paint scheme. John Stanley working his way up through the field to finish P4. Gordon Carter finished in the 5th position. Preston Hassel finishes in 6th. Julio Caligari 7th. Stanislav Pavlov finished in the 8th position. Eugene Fedorov finishes in 9th. And Chris Hughes finishes in the 10th position. Finishing in 11th is Dennis Jurchin in the 47 car. Gilmar Peixoto finished in 12th. And then the DNFs there, Jack Furtado 13th. Sean Jacobs 14th. Jesus Iglesias 15th. Givaldo Spindola 16th. And Tony Furtado finishes in P17. So Claudio Bardelli Jr. with the big win, and they're going to be celebrating. That is for sure. We'll see if we can't get him in the booth here with us. All right, we're joined in the booth with Claudio Bardelli Jr. And man, the racing there on that last stint was a lot of fun to watch. It had to be a lot of fun to drive too. Congratulations on the race victory here tonight.
Good night. Thank you for race again. I'm very happy to race to us. It's complicated in this in the year. In final with the year, it's complicated for me, but I like it to race. I'm happy again.
This track is so unique with the 3 different turns, and you guys were getting some really long green flag runs with a couple caution flags there in the back half of that race. Did those make you nervous? Maybe hurting the chance to win the race tonight.
I'm like this track, and I try to maintain my tires. I believe due to my drive is slowly and the save tires and really with yellow flags. I try to maintain 1, 2, 3 laps depression. After this, my car is better than the other drivers.
Well, great job, man. This is, speaking for me personally, this is not one of my favorite tracks, but you seem to do so well here at Pocono. You got a similar kind of situation next week with Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's all about that corner transition and getting a good draft at Indy. What's the plan next week?
I'm planning to race. I don't know if you go to race, but I try. And in the next year in the season, to maintain Pocono, Dover, and Martinsville.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to ask. You're going to have to ask the wife for permission to race next week. We know that, so you're going to better treat her to a few home cooked meals.
Okay.
Congratulations, parabéns, Claudio.
Thank you, obrigado. Ciao, ciao.
That's Claudio Bardelli Jr. joining us up here in the booth. Don't forget to join him over in that Sober Tom podcast channel too. By the way, he does a great job at that. There's the link there. YouTube.com at Sober Tom podcast. Check him out, man. All things music there. Has some really great interviews going on as well, and all things music there from the Sober Tom expert, the Sober Tom wizard. That's Claudio Bardelli Jr. He certainly was a wizard tonight here at Pocono. And as we mentioned, we'll be at Indianapolis next week. That will be a fun one, man. Race number 5 of the season. It's my hometown. Well, my home track, I should say. and always a fun one. I don't like to race this track. I like the road course at Indy better when I'm sitting in the driver's seat, but I do like to broadcast races from Indy. Always a fun one. I've been there many times, and I'm excited whenever I see Indy come up on the schedule, feeling like those guys are right next door to me, man. So could Claudio Bardelli Jr. take the victory at Indy? I think he probably could, man. They're going to have to be a lot of guys out there that might have something to say about it, though. Thank you so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and don't forget to smash the bell. Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. Are you interested in an rFactor 2 server? Well, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. That's EliteHostingUSA.com. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Congratulations to Claudio Bardelli Jr. on getting the big, fat, ginormous win tonight. It was a fun one to watch, and we'll see if he can't do the repeat next week. Until then, we'll see you next time. I am out of here.